Chapter 5 is on fractions, and section 5.1 is using models to add fractions. Here I've got two squares set up that have been split into fours, or quarters. My first one is going to represent 2/4. So 2 over 4. So that means that 2 out of my 4 boxes are going to be filled in. So that there shows 2/4. And my other box is going to show 2/4 or 2/4. Now if I'm to add both of those up, if you put them both together, you're going to end up with 4/4. Another way to say 4/4 is 1. Now I've got the same basic problem here, except one of the shapes is a little different. It's not split into fourths, it's split into 2. So while this says 2/4, you should really be looking at it as 1 over 2. Sorry, in this case it will be 1 over 2. 2/4 is half of it. I could even put 2 of my little halves on there if you like to show my 2 over 4. But 2 over 4 is the same thing as 1/2. On the other side, I'm going to show 2/4 again, like I did before. I've got my 2/4. I've got 2/4 here. I've got 2/4 or a half over here. If I'm to put both of those together into one shape, you'll find that I have 4/4, or another way to write 4/4 is just 1. Little different. Sometimes you're going to end up with pieces that don't all fit into one shape. In this case, if I look at it, I've got a half and I've got 3/4. So let's look at this side. We'll put in a half like it asks for. We've got 1/2 and it's asking for 3/4 over on the other side. So we're going to put in 1 and 2 and 3. Let's make it look a little bit prettier. There you go. So I've got 3/4 on the right, 1/4 blank. I've got 1/2 on the left, 1/2 blank. Now if I'm going to put all these together in one shape, it's going to leave me with this extra quarter over here. So I've got 1 and a quarter. 1, 2, 3, 4/4, 5/4, or 1 whole. 5/4 or 1 whole and 1/4. I just added up my pieces. Of course, this could be split into 2. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 pieces, 5 over 4, or 1 1/4. Either way, I've got 1 whole and 1/4 left. Now, squares are fairly easy because we've all dealt with squares before. You can cut them into 4, 8, 2 fairly easily. But we're going to move on to a different shape this time, a hexagon. Same idea. It's asked for 2/6, which we're going to put in. There's 1, and we'll just spin this one to make it fit nice and pretty, or as pretty as it can get, I guess. Okay, there's 2, and then it's asked for 3/6 on the other side. So there's 1 piece, there's 2 pieces, there's 3 pieces. 2 pieces here, 3 pieces on the other side. Now, if we put those together, that's going to leave us with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 sixths. So if I had 2/6 and 3/6, I'll end up with 5/6. And of course, you can move them over to sit in the other piece if you like, to get a little bit better an idea of exactly what it would look like if they were all put together. Okay, there's 5/6, 2/6, and the 3/6 together. Now, same idea as with the squares. We'll come back to that, and the same idea, and now that it's the same size shape, still 6 sides all the way around, but this one on this side is cut into 1, 2, 3 pieces. It almost looks like a 3D cube. And this side, the hexagon, split into 6 pieces. But we are still going to put down exactly what it's asking for. Here it's asking for 3/6, so there's 1, 2, 3/6, which is the same as a half. And on the other side, it's asking for 2/3. So we're going to spin these a little bit so we can hopefully make them fit as best we can. Let's see if we can't do that. They're not going to fit perfectly, but fairly close. So there's 2/3 and 3/6. Now we need to figure out exactly what that's going to leave us. So let's bring some pieces over. We'll have, there's an extra one, and we'll just spin this so it fits properly. And there's another one. So that's 1, 2, these are each worth 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then there's one little piece left over by itself, which means we end up with 2, 4, 6, 7 6. Or if we were to put it all together and make it into a mixed number, it would be 1 and 1/6. One whole and one little piece left over. Again, all we did was just bring these pieces across. These are covering up, if you look here, they're covering up 2 pieces. So each one of these big pieces is worth 2. And all we did was just fill in those extra pieces. So there's one whole, one left over. 7/6 in total, or 1 and 1/6. So for your practice question, what I would like you to do is use this model for A to add the fractions. Okay, and what I'm going to ask you to do is I'm going to ask you to put in, I'm going to ask you to tell me what, if I were to color in this piece here, this piece here, and then if I were to color in these 2 pieces here, this little piece over here, and this piece here, what would I get? What would be my total if I were to add those 2 circles together and put all those pieces together? What would I get for my fraction? Second part, using the same shape cut into 2 different pieces, whether that be a square, a hexagon, you could put a circle, you could do a triangle. It's really up to you. Using this, using the same shape cut into 2 different numbers of pieces. So one might be cut into 4, one might be cut into 6, one might be cut into 10. Get creative if you like. 3, 6. Using the same shape. So if you're going to use a circle for both. Cut it into 2 different numbers of shapes or pieces, and I want you to show me 2 different shapes cut into different numbers of pieces that you would add together to make 1 and 1/8. So this one here is cut into 2 and 4, but it is the same shape. They're both squares. One's cut into 2 pieces and one's cut into 4. This one is cut into, if we were to clear all these pieces out, it's cut into 3, and this one is cut into 6, but they're the same shape. So what I want you to do is choose a shape. It doesn't matter what kind it is. I want you to use the same shape twice, just like over here. And I want you to cut them both into different numbers of pieces and then color in enough sections to show me 1 and 1/8.